Hi, Fred Hochberg and the Export-Import staff, Sharyn Bovat, voice of a moderate. I want to thank you for being nice to me yesterday. And I also want to explain to you why I'm not there today. My sole objective to wanting to go to the Export-Import conference was, even though I did not think it should happen, it did happen that you're reauthorized. And I wanted to, with my new direction of the website, was to talk about good things the government is doing. And I wanted to find out what the Export-Import Bank was doing now that it was reauthorized, the changes that they've made. They actually had a program at the conference about detecting fraud and preventing abuse. I was really encouraged. And instead of leaving encouraged, I left, well, actually, I was in shock after about the first hour and a half I was there because I was assaulted. And it was not by somebody that was part of the Export-Import Bank, but people at the bank know that it happened. I was walking down a hall. This person connected to the U.S. Chamber, he was one of the security, and he nudged me, but he did it in a way with such brute force that I was slammed against a wall. I have recently, the U.S. Chamber, which is the big friend of the Export-Import Bank, and there's lots of pictures to show that their people basically control the Export-Import Bank. They are the big lobby for big corporations. And recently, I whistleblew through one of my blogs that the SSRIs, the Zoloft that the American troops are given for PTSD, that's manufactured by Pfizer, which is a very big supporter and a big ally of the U.S. Chamber, that SSRIs are a leading cause of Alzheimer's. There's reports the government's holding back. I don't know if they're holding back on the reports because the reports are fairly conclusive that SSRIs are a leading cause of Alzheimer's if used long term. Alzheimer's is an epidemic rate right now in America. We are spending so much taxpayer money helping people with Alzheimer's, paying their bills. We've got family members that can go to work because they got relatives with Alzheimer's. It's one of the factors that's hurting our economy. And a client of, or a big supporter of the U.S. Chamber, Pfizer, was trying to skip out of town and go and set up their HQ, I guess, in Ireland. So I believe that the reason why I was told this was because the facts, because people would then investigate, like the feds, once I made the accusation, which is still on the web, they would look at it, and within 2 days, that big deal with Allergan in Ireland was gone because they changed the tax rules. Well, of course, Pfizer's trying to dodge tax evasion, but maybe they're trying to dodge prosecution. They've successfully dodged prosecution for their drugs that they cause birth defects. See, the thing is that a study is paid for by the pharmaceutical industry, and these industries are creating studies or lack of studies to show that medication isn't there's not a problem. And then these judge throws out these lawsuits that should hopefully protect other people from consuming these drugs and being harmed. But see, these lawsuits can never win because these studies are never done, and the studies are never done because people like the U.S. Chamber bullied the politicians into not allowing the studies to be done. So anyways, long story short, I was asked to get involved in this cannabis crusade, and I went because I have PTSD. I've got a PTSD dog right here. Should have brought it to the XM conference. She could have protected me from the bullies. But the studies are not being done with cannabis because it's a Schedule I drug. And the paid-for prisons want it to be Schedule I because corporations are basically getting labor for 50 cents to $1 an hour because they use the prison population. The prison population is basically slave labor of the corporations. And sadly, it affects the black community because people that are arrested for marijuana crimes, it's 2 to 3 times more people from the black community. In some areas, people are saying 4 or 5 times more. But I do know this. In the state of Tennessee, and a person from the NAACP reached out to me, is that People that are black that are convicted for the same crime as a white person will go in jail an average of 3 to 4 times longer. Once that data came out, immediately the people in Tennessee don't have access to that data. They don't have access to going to their jails right now and saying, okay, black person, what did you do? How much time did you get? Okay, white person, what did you do? How much time did you get? Oh, that data's not available.